Fable and moral story. A smart crow.
One hot day, a very thirsty crow was flying around looking for water. After flying for a long time, he spotted a pot of water. There was very little water in the pot. He tried to put his beak inside, but couldn't reach the water. He had an idea. He saw many pebbles on the ground. He picked up pebbles one by one and started dropping them in the pot. As more pebbles were dropped in, the water slowly rose towards the mouth of the pot. The crow drank the water and quenched his thirst. After drinking the water, he flew away happily to his home. Moral of the story: where there is a will, there is a way.
A thirsty fox.
A very thirsty fox was wandering in the jungle looking for water. He spotted a bunch of grapes hanging from a vine curled up on a tree. The fox got really happy. He thought,
"This is just the thing I need to quench my thirst."
He jumped, but he couldn't reach the grapes. The grapes were too high up for him. He tried with all his strength to jump higher and higher, but he couldn't reach them. The fox finally gave up and said,
"The grapes are probably sour anyway."
And he walked away. Moral of the story: it's easy to despise what you cannot get.
The dove and the ant.
Once upon a time, a very thirsty ant was drinking water from the river. Suddenly, the ant lost his balance and fell into the river water. "Help! Help! Help!" cried the ant, but no one could hear his cries. A dove, sitting on a tree nearby, saw that the ant was in trouble. She quickly plucked off a leaf from the tree and dropped it into the water. The ant climbed on the leaf. He thanked the dove for saving his life. After a few days, the dove was sitting on a tree. The ant saw a hunter aiming his arrow at the dove. The ant knew that his friend the dove was in danger. He quickly bit the hunter's leg. The hunter cried in pain. The hunter's arrow missed the dove. This time, the ant saved the dove. The dove thanked the ant for saving her life, and they became friends forever. Moral of the story: one good deed deserves another.
The fox and the stork.
One day, a fox invited the stork for lunch. The fox made some soup and served it in 2 shallow bowls. The stork had a long beak and wondered how to drink soup from the bowl. The fox quickly finished his soup. The stork couldn't drink his soup. The stork said to himself,
I must teach this fox a lesson.
After the meal, the stork told the fox,
Thank you for inviting me. Why don't you come to my place for lunch tomorrow? I will make some delicious soup for you.
The next day, the fox happily went to the stork's house. The stork prepared some delicious soup and served it in 2 long-necked jars. Now, the fox wondered how to drink the soup from such a tall jar. The stork quickly finished his soup, but the fox's mouth could not reach the soup. The fox learned his lesson. Moral of the story: tit for tat. Do to others what one would wish for oneself.
The goose that laid the golden eggs.
Once upon a time, there lived a farmer with his wife. They owned a special goose. One day, the goose laid a golden egg. The farmer became very happy and sold the egg. Every day, the goose would lay a golden egg. The farmer and his wife would then sell the egg. They soon became rich. The couple became greedy. They thought that a big piece of gold must be inside the goose. If they could have all of the gold together, they would become richer much faster. They decided to cut the goose and get out all the gold at once. They killed the goose and found that she was like every other goose from the inside. There was no gold inside. They started crying. Now they would not get any more golden eggs, all due to their greed. Moral: too much greed gains nothing.
2 friends and the bear.
2 friends were walking through a forest. They promised to stay together throughout the way. Suddenly, they heard a sound in the bushes. Something was approaching them. It was a huge bear. Both of them got scared. One of them, thinking of his own safety, climbed a tree. The other friend did not know how to climb a tree. He threw himself on the ground and lay still while holding his breath. He had heard that bears don't prey on dead people. The bear came near the man lying on the ground. He sniffed his ears and slowly walked away. The man on the tree came down. He jokingly asked his friend,
What did the bear whisper in your ears?
The other friend replied,
The bear told me to never trust someone who deserts you in need.
Moral of the story: a friend in need is a friend indeed.
The boy who cried wolf.
A shepherd boy was watching his flock of sheep. He felt really bored, so he thought of amusing himself. He stood up and started shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" to attract the attention of people in the village. The villagers came running to help him, but they saw no wolf, just the boy laughing at them. The villagers were angry. The boy repeated this again the next day. The people again came, but there was no wolf. They angrily said, "Foolish boy, when there is actually a wolf, no one will believe you." One day, the boy was resting. Suddenly, he saw a wolf approaching the sheep. The boy shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" But people in the village thought that the boy was lying as usual. Later, when the boy didn't come back, the villagers came looking for him. The boy was weeping. "Why didn't you come? The wolf came and ate my sheep." The villagers comforted him and said, "Let this be a lesson to you. You must never lie." Moral of the story? Nobody believes a liar, even when he is telling the truth.
The Dog and the Wolf.
Once there was a wolf who was starving. He saw a healthy house dog passing by and greeted him humbly. The house dog saw the wolf's sad condition. He asked the wolf to accompany him to his master so that he can get some food. The wolf felt very lucky and immediately agreed. Suddenly, the wolf noticed that the hair on the dog's neck was worn and the skin was chafed.
What is this?
Asked the wolf, pointing at the dog's neck.
Oh, it's nothing,
Said the dog.
This is where the collar is put on to keep me chained up. Chained? Then goodbye to you, Master Dog,
Said the wolf and ran away into the woods. Moral of the story? There is nothing worth so much as liberty and freedom.